Once again, you're watching PJ Collection Clothing online class. In this video, I'll be showing us how to cut a senator top. It will be with a piped neckline. The neckline will be piped and it will also have an invisible zip. Then it will be a short sleeve and a yoke. So we're working for a 7 years boy. Now the shoulder is 13, the sleeve is 6, the round sleeve is 9, then the neck is 12, then the body length is 21, then the chest of this person is 24, but the stomach is 26. So the stomach is bigger than the chest. So in this case, we're using the stomach measurement instead of the chest measurement. Take note, in a situation whereby the stomach of the person is bigger than the chest measurement is invalid. So you're using the stomach measurement. Then the armhole is 13. All right, so I'm working with this Ankara print. We're using 2 yards of Ankara print. All right, so the first thing we do, so we're working with 2 yards of Ankara print by 45, 2 yards. Now the very first thing we do is to cut the front. Now to begin with, you fold your fabric, you check if it has a pattern. Of course, I've already done the arrangement. So to begin with, you fold your fabric into 2. You fold your fabric into 2. And how do you know that your folding is okay? Divide your chest by 4 plus 2 inch sewing allowance. We are working for a kid, so we'll add enough allowance. Now, the chest of this person we are working with is 26. So 26 divided by 2 is 6.5, right? Then you now add 2 inch. So my folding here, I'm working with 10 inch. I'm very okay with this folding. So to begin with, the very first thing we do, you mark a straight line. We're starting now. You mark a straight line. Now this straight line represents your neckline. Take note, your neckline or your width line. Now the neck of this person is 12. The neck of the person is 12. The neck is 12. Now the depth I'll be using, take note, for a neck of 12, I'll be using 2 inch. I'm using 2 inch. So you mark 2 inch there. So this second line represents our shoulder line or the depth line. Okay. Now the next I'll be doing is the width. Take note, from here to here we used 2 inch, right? Now the width, we're using 1.5 inch. The width, this is your width line and this is your depth line. So the width, we're using 1.5 inch. So you mark. Then you now make a curve as shown like this. Make a nice curve. All right, so now shoulder, over to the shoulder. Now the shoulder of this person is 13. So this is your shoulder line. Take note, this is your shoulder line. So you're marking 13, which is 6.5. Then you now add ½ inch for. Then now connect these 2 points. Now connect these 2 points here. From this shoulder point to the neck width. Connect this. Okay, so we now have that line there. It's not clear, so okay. Now we've gotten our neck. This is our neck and our shoulders. So now the third line we're to work with is the chest line. To get a chest line, divide your chest by 4 or your armhole by 2. Take note, we are using a chest, we are using 26 divided by 4. It will give you 13. Then if you should do 6.5, then your armhole here, this person's armhole is 13. So whichever one you use, take note, to get your chest, and we said divide your chest by 4 minus 3 or your armhole by 2 minus 3. So whichever one you use to give. So 26 divided by 4 will give you 12, 24, 6.5. Yes, 6.5. 26 divided by 4 will give you 6.5. So you remove 3 inch from here. Move backward 3. 1, 2, 3. So mark here. We are doing this because we have the back to cut. Take note, you have your back to cut. So this is your chest line. So you now put your chest measurement at this point, which is 6.5. Then I'm adding 2 inch for. Okay, so you now make your armhole curve from this point to the armhole. From here, make it down to that point there. So you now have your armhole. You're connecting this down to the point of your shoulder. You're doing that. Okay. Now the next thing is to take is the top length. You're taking the top length. To do that, you're starting from this point here down. Now the top length is 21. So this is it. 21, then I'm adding 3" extra, so we now have our top length. So we're now connecting this point down. So this is how to cut your front parts. So we're through with the front panel. So to cut the back, you fold again, you fold the fabric into 2, make sure you have the same width. You fold the fabric into 2, quickly iron this down. Now you pick up your front part, you pick up this front part, and you place this as shown. You place this as shown, place this as shown. Now very easy, the back part is very easy. Now you trace this point, you trace here down, you trace here down to the point of the width. Okay, now watch carefully. When you're through with that trace, you now drag the front down at least 3" for a child, for a kid. 3". You're taking this down, take note. After you've done this cutting, you now take this down 3". So let's confirm this. So we now have 3". Now watch carefully. You now fold, you fold this on top of the front. And how do you know your fold? Make sure you shouldn't exceed ½ inch. So you mark ½ inch. Okay, so we now fold this, now have that. All right, so quickly press this down. Okay, now trace from here. Watch carefully, please. When you're tracing, do not trace from this point. You're tracing from this point here, from here, tracing here. Okay, you trace and you stop halfway there, then you open this, then you now trace from here, continuation. Now for confirmation of your neck, you close this back. Now remember, we're working with a neck of 12, so you get your tape for confirmation of your neck. Now watch carefully. Now put your tape this way. From here, put your tape this way to confirm the neck this way. Now if you take a look, I have 6½ inch there. If you take a look, 6½. Let me take it again so you see it. You confirm your neck from this point here down. You curve your tape down. So I have 6, and what I need is 7". So we'll still trace this just a little. So trace this a little. Okay, so confirm this again. So put your tape back. The reason why I said we need 7" because remember your neck is 12, so we'll sew ½ inch. Remember, we folded this on top of this, so we'll sew ½ inch at the left, ½ inch at the right, taking away 1 inch, so we'll see arrive at 12. So trace this back. Let's confirm this. Okay, so we now have ourselves. So we're okay. So quickly, we now trace the armhole point. So the next thing is to just confirm our chest, which is 13. Right, we have 13 plus ½ inch. Okay, so we now trace this down from here, trace this down, okay. So we now trace the body part as well. So we now trace the body. Okay, so now trace. All right, so this is what we have. So now quickly, we need just the back yoke. Remember, we need just back yoke because we're piping this one. So I'll quickly cut the back yoke of this. We need the back yoke. So I'll quickly cut the back yoke. So to do the back yoke, you get your fabric. Then you fold this. Then take note, you get the fabric onto the fold. Then you get your back panel, and you place this as shown quickly. Then you now trace the neck, trace the neck, you trace the shoulder slant, then you trace your armhole, then you remove this. Now to know if you're okay, now the depth I'm using is 6" plus 1 inch for folding. So you have this. So we now get your hairstay and you comb this. So this is how to go about cutting your front and our yoke. So the next video I'll be showing us is the joining. Okay, so we're through with our cutting now. Let's begin with the sewing. Now this is your back panel. We want to start the sewing. Now remember, we're piping the neck and we're fixing an invisible zip to it. All right, so now this is your back panel. Now you pick up your front panel. This is your front panel. Remember, we said it will require just the back yoke, but if you want to put your front yoke, it's fine. Okay, back panel the wrong side facing you, front panel the good side facing you. Then you now pick up your yoke. This is my yoke. I just use my cloth gum to gum just this part. So first you pick up these three. Take note: back panel, front panel, yoke, the wrong side. So we pick up these three, and we sew half in. Remember when we were cutting, we folded the back on top of the front. We said you shouldn't exceed half. So you're sewing this half in. So you sew this one part alone. Remember, you're sewing one part alone. You're fixing your invisible zip to your left part. So you're sewing just this part alone. So let's do that now. Okay, so I'm through with this part. Remember, we're sewing just the right alone, the shoulders and just this right alone. We are through with the sewing. So now flip your yoke, flip it to this other part, flip it to the back. Then you now sew. Remember, now sew the yoke. Remember, it's open. This yoke now. So after flipping, you now sew from this point. Remember, it's open here. So just sew to the end. So let's do that now. Okay, so we're through with the sewing at the back with the yoke. We flip this over. Now this is the point where we'll fix our invisible zip. This part is still open. So if you have your weaving machine, you quickly weave this part neatly. Weave this part neatly. You also weave this part neatly. So take note of that. Now the next thing I'll be showing us is to pipe. We're piping this round. We'll be piping this round. First, remember, you pipe this round first before you fix your invisible zip. So now to do, I've already showed us, if you've been following up my video, I've already showed us how to go about this. So the first thing you do is you cut your fabric in bias form. I already showed us how to go about this. You cut your fabric in bias form. Now the width of this fabric I'll be working with, working with 2 inch. Working with 2 inch, that is the width. Okay, so I've done the cutting of our bias. Now you put your hemigum at the middle. It's just a recap. You put your hemigum at the middle, then you now fold these two like this as shown. Take note, this is the hemigum at the middle. You now fold the two as shown. Then you now gum all through. You gum this down, you gum this down to all through. Okay, when you're through with the gumming, this is the gum we're through. You now fold this. You fold it together. Take note, you fold it together. Now when folding, you make sure that the down one is wider than the up one. Take note, because we're sewing at the top, so you make sure that the down part is wider compared to that of the top part. So fold this. Okay, so we're through with this. Now let's come back to our top. Now for you to make sure that, for you to have an accurate and well relaxed neckline, you need to make sure that your neckline is very round. If you take a look, if it is not round, you'll find it difficult for your bias to be well relaxed. So you make sure that your neckline is, your neck circumference here, make sure you have a round part. So having done that, now let's go and fix it. Okay, quickly, before we pipe this neckline, now quickly, this is what you do. This is the open part, right? Take note, this is the open part. You fold your, remember we did half it, so you fold this, right? You fold this, then you iron this down. Then you also fold this part. Take note, you first of all fold your ½ inch. Take note, the up part. Then you close this, right? You close this down. Then you iron this down. There's something I want to show us. Quickly iron this down. Alright, so you now make sure we now have this closed, right? So if you take a look, you'll see that it is not well round. So you use your scissors to cut this. Make sure you have a neat circumference there. So you quickly cut this first. So this is what you do before we now do your piping. Okay, so we now have this. Alright, so this is it. So we can now go for our piping now. Alright, so we'll do this first before we pipe. So let's pipe. Okay, so when you're through with that, we now start the piping. So we now want to pipe this round. So you open this, so you pick up your fabric that you want to pipe. So this is it. So now start from here. So you place this. So remember, we said when we're folding this, I said that the upper part should be wider compared to the down. Sorry, the down part should be wider than the up part. So make sure that the up part which is the smaller part, should be at the top. So start from here. So now sew. Please take notes while piping this round. You follow your curved, you don't drag your fabric straight. You make sure that your fabric, your senator is curved. As you can see, I'm trying to bend this. So curve this. I'll just sew at the mouth. Make sure you don't drag your fabric straight. You bend along. You bend along the way your fabric, the neck is curved. You bend along. So by the time you finish piping, you have a relaxed neckline. So you see now, as you can see, I'm not dragging the fabric straight. I'm trying to bend along to obey the neck circumference the way it is. Okay. So we're doing this to the end. Okay, so when you're through with it, as you can see now, I'm having a relaxed neckline. So we'll quickly iron this down. Quickly iron this. Please, when you're also doing your ironing, you make sure you obey the curved parts. Do not drag your fabric. Don't drag your fabric straight. If you do that, the neck will not be relaxed. Still make sure you obey. As you can see now, I'm trying to, so also iron these other parts. Make sure that you obey the curved parts. Do not drag your senator neck straight. Alright, so quickly let me adjust it. So as you can see, you have a relaxed neckline. As you can see, it's well relaxed. So this is how to go about the piping. So now fold this thing back. Remember, we folded this. So you fold this thing back, your half inch, fold it down. Then you iron this. Right? Then you fold the upper part back again. So you see now, you have that there. So you iron this down. So this is how to make. Okay, so the next video I'll be showing us is how to fix our zip. So we'll be fixing our zip at this point here, our invisible zip. Okay, so the final step is for us to fix our invisible zip. So let's open this part back. Now remember, we folded. Now this is our invisible zip. There are so many ways or method of fixing our invisible zip. So I'll be using with my invisible presser foot. So we have this now. This is the top part. This will be at the top here. This will be at the top like this. It will be at the top like this. This is how it will be. This is how it will be. So this will be the top part. This is the back part of the zip. Now to begin with, you open this. You open this. Now this is the part here. So if you take a look, you'll see a small plastic there, very small plastic there. If you take a look, I don't know if you can see there. You see a small plastic there. So now taking this, you place this, making sure we use the plastic there. You use the plastic there. If you take a look, you see that the plastic is exactly at the black point there. See the black bias point there. So we'll now sew this. Remember, this will be on top of this. Remember, we folded ½ inch, right? So this is a ½ inch. So this part will be on top of the ½ inch, making sure you have it exactly on top of the ½ inch there. So we'll now sew. Take note, you're sewing this just to the ½ inch alone, not to the full. You open this. Okay, let me open this. So you sew this. Okay, there is it. Okay, all right. So this is it. You're sewing this one here to just this ½ inch alone. This is from here, the ½ inch. So you're sewing this, and please take note that the plastic there should be. I don't know if you can see. If you can see it from there, right? Okay. So let's do that now. I don't know where they go. Okay. I'm sewing one part to the ½ inch, as you can see, using my invisible presser foot. Just one part alone. So you're sewing this. Right. So stop there. Then you pick up your second part. Now this is the second part, which is this. Make sure that this part is facing up, and this is the back side of your zip. So you also place it. Please take note of your plastic there, because that is what to use. By the time we zip up now, both will be equal. That is why you're using the plastic as the measurement there. Take note. So we also fix the second part as well. Fix the second part, making sure that the plastic is exactly at the point there. So we'll sew this, we'll now sew this. We're sewing this just to the half inch alone. Okay, so I've done the first sewing. So we'll close this. So let's check. All right, now if you take a look, you notice that both the two blacks, the piping black, both are equal. What helped us was as a result of that plastic we used. Now if you take a look, you will notice that the zip is still showing. Remember, as the name implies, invisible zip. So we'll still do. So this time around, we'll sew very close to the. Remember, look at the first sewing, as you can see the black there. So this time we're sewing very close to the mouth here. So you watch. Remember, you're using your invisible presser foot. So this time we're sewing very close. Okay, so this time around, remember this is the second swing. We're sewing just by the side here, as you can see. This is the first swing. Now we're sewing closer to the main zip itself. So you're sewing right. Alright, so I've done the second swing. Remember, we said you sew very close to the mouth. So we zip up to check. So we're zipping. Alright, so as you can see now, it's very neat. This is how to fix your invisible shoulder zip for your senator. So as you can see, you zip this down to the point. So you see now, as the name implies, invisible zip. As you can see, it's not showing. Alright, so quickly we'll unzip this. So quickly you take this, the excess here, you take this back, then you now fold. Let me repeat again. This is a good side. So you flip this back, right? Then now fold the half inch, right? Then you now top stitch. You just top stitch. Okay, so I've done this folding and I've done the stitching. So we folded and we. Okay, so I've done the folding and we did the stitching at the top there. So quickly, let's close this. So you close this back. So you close this. All right. So this is how to sew your senator with. You can see now. So this is so. Quickly cut off this part. Quickly cut off this part. Quickly cut off this part. Now, please do not zip back, because if you do, it will get fuller. So quickly, before the next thing, so this is how to go about fixing your senator with your pipe neck and your invisible zip. As you can see, it is well relaxed and neat. Alright, so we have this. So as you can see, this is it, looking relaxed and neat. As you can see, the invisible zip, this is it. This is how to go about fixing your invisible zip. So the next thing you quickly do is to join your sleeve. Then you join the body, which I will not be showing us that. I already showed us. Now before you join your sleeve, take note, before you join your sleeve, you make sure that you have your accurate shoulder one, and you make sure that you trim this part. Make sure that the upper part is a bit deeper. Let me show us this part as well. Then you put your knot. Now the reason why we're trimming this, you can do this while cutting. Now take a look. If you take a look, I trimmed the front part deeper than the back. The reason why we're doing this, one, is to avoid this part being squeezed. If you take a look at some senator top, you notice that this part is rumpled or squeezed. Take note. So the essence of this is to avoid that. You can just dip in it a little. So you make sure that you have your exact shoulder measurement. You make sure you also have your exact chest measurement before you now join your sleeve. By so doing, you have your relaxed point at this. So once again, you're watching PJ Collection Clothing Online class.